you step across the border from the chaos of the street to this calculated order. The static of the city starts to dissolve into the mist, leaving only the silence of a life that don't exist. Marble underfoot, polished like a frozen lake, reflecting every move in a house that's mostly fake. No skeletal structures here, just the center, the divine. But the oxygen is heavy and the shadows start to align. The family legacy etched into the glare, watching the ghosts of the struggle in the air. Vaulted ceilings, reaching for a sky they'll never touch, where the secrets are the currency and we're asking for too much. A sanctuary built on the rhythm of the pavement, where the silk against the skin feels like a cold engagement. The perimeter is locked, keeping every soul inside, providing every luxury with nowhere left to hide. They call it a kingdom, but it's feeling like a cell, a custom-made heaven for a private kind of hell. Vapor in the room, turning reality to gray, guarding the legacy while the spirit starts to fray. Yes, the golden cage, ink turning to blood on the final page. You standing by the glass, mapping out the grid, trapped in the cycle of the things his father did. The successor to the throne, the sovereign of the hill, with the pulse that's out of sync with the predetermined will. He's drifting to the memory of the treasure in the dark, looking for a flame where there's only a spark. The panoramic view stretches out into the void, a galaxy of neon for a prince who's underemployed. From this altitude, the conflict looks like static on a screen, but the higher the ascent, the more the vision isn't clean. Thermal cameras blinking like a heartbeat in the night, documenting everything that's hidden from the light. Hand-stitched interiors in a silver-plated life, everything is balanced on the edge of the knife. He studies the portrait hanging hollow in the hall, the architect of shadows waiting for the fall. The gravity of diamonds is a weight he can't sustain. When you're born to wear the crown, you're born to feel the strain. The silence is a choir. Luxury in the fire. The golden cage, wait for the sun to burn it all away. Inherited the static before I learned to speak. The foundation is solid, but the spirit is weak. It's a legacy of lead polished into gold, the story of a debt that never gets too old. The office smells of cedar and the weight of the past, a conversation looming that was destined to last. The father figure shadow stretching long across the floor, teaching me the science of the lock upon the door. It's a burden, not a gift, he whispers through the haze, a map of all the exits in a permanent maze. Crimson in the jewel if you look at it right, a crystalline reflection reflection of the middle of the night. The business of the shadows is a cold, precise art, keeping every secret in a separate part. Trade the peace of mind for a seat at the head, counting all the blessings on a kingdom of lead. A heavy-duty silence dissolving in the smoke, high-altitude secrets that we never even spoke. The price of the empire is the cost of the soul, a panoramic vision of a life out of control. Yeah, it's the cold and the ice, paying for the crown with a heavy-duty price. The warning was a whisper, but it hit like a storm. Don't let the compassion ever make you feel warm. The streets are a math and the numbers don't lie. You look them in the spirit, but you never in the eye. I'm not into the rhythm, but the pulse is out of tune. A hollow point reflection in the middle of the noon. We're built on the silence of the ones who came before, a lineage of power, waiting for the war. But I'm looking at the blueprint and I'm looking for a leak, a way to find the treasure when the outlook is bleak. The ghost in the jewelry starts to glow in the dim, a ceremony starting on the edge of the rim. They call it a fortune, but I'm checking the debt, a gamble on a future that I haven't even met. The stones are cold, but the history's burning. The wheels of the business are constantly turning. I'm the architect of ruin in a suit made of silk, drinking down the poison that was hidden in the milk. The warning is home. The shadow is the mark. Fade to black. The world looks different from the top of the hill. Everything moving while the heart stays still. A panoramic silence that stretches for miles, hiding the secrets and the artificial smiles. The artificial smiles. The glass in the window is the only thing between the life that I'm living and the one that I've seen. I'm tracing the grid of the streets down below, where the neon is flickering and the struggle starts to grow. Thinking of the girl with the ironed out pride, with the treasure in her eyes that she never has to hide. Yeah, you can't whoop the world, that's the lesson I was taught. But she's ready for the battle and she's never being caught. I'm the prince of the business with a crown made of glass, watching all the shadows and the local spirits pass. The distance is an ocean, but the rhythm is the same. Two different worlds playing one single game. The view from the top is a hollow point dream. Everything is quiet, but it's louder than a scream. Vapor in the lungs turning reality to blue, searching for a version of a story that is true. Yeah, it's the view from the peak, where the power is strong, but the vision is weak. I'm looking at the blueprint of a prearranged life, balancing the future on the edge of the knife. She's standing in the doorway with the weight of the block. I'm standing in the penthouse checking every single lock. The heir and the hustler with a destiny to meet in the middle middle of the smoke, in the middle of the street. The diamonds are a burden and the gold is a cage. I'm ready for the turning of a brand new page. The static of the city is a choir in my head, singing all the words that my father never said. The sunset is a bruise on the edge of the sky, waiting for the moment to look her in the eye. 16 years of gravity, 16 years of grace, looking for a rhythm in this high altitude space. The elevators waiting to take me to the ground, where the truth of the neighborhood is waiting to be found. The view from the top is starting to dissolve into a mystery that I'm ready to resolve.